Okay, here we go. To start our journey on learning how to read in 4/4. Now, if you have the book, which you should, it's available through me directly on my website or Amazon.com. Soon to be in the mom and dad stores and all of the big music chains. So, let's start our journey. Let's turn to page 4. Now, on page 4, I'm giving a note description of what a whole note is, half note, quarter note, eighth note, 16th, and you should be able to identify what these notes are and what they mean. The next page, I have a page on counting systems. We're going to use a variety of counting systems per page, and they're going to vary. They're going to be a little bit different per page. What I'm going to do here now is explain the first system of counting, which is quarter note counting, which is simple. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next counting system is eighth notes. It's counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The next counting system is eighth note triplet count. Now, there's a variety of ways to count eighth note triplets. I count eighth note triplets 2 different ways. And I count the first way is as 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the. Now, occasionally I will count a triplet as opposed to 1 and the, as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I use this thought process when I'm doing subdivisions or playing polyrhythms. There are different ways, like I said. Other people use 1 triplet, 2 triplet, so on and so forth. That's fine, and that's not incorrect. That's just another way. But it doesn't really work for me as the way I want to work a triplet. For syncopation parts or swung parts, or again, polyrhythmic parts. And the next counting system is 16th note count, which is 1 E and the, 2 E and the, 3 E and the, 4 E and the. Again, 1 E and the, 2 E and the, 3 E and the, 4 E and the. Now, when I count staccato. Staccato meaning short sounding. Example, if I'm counting quarter notes, I'm not going 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not expanding or extending the sound of my count. My count is short, staccato. Example, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it does really make a difference on the feel of the thing that you're reading and also a groove that you may be playing. Okay, so that should cover the note description and the counting systems. And like I had said, that we're going to use a variety of counting systems and a combination of counting systems. So just become familiar with it, and the more familiar you are with it, the easier these lessons are going to be. So we're going to turn to the first actual reading lesson itself, which is on page 7. Now, I've just placed a time signature on the first measure of this book, and every measure in the book is in 4/4. That's what the title of the book is, Reading Text in 4/4. Now, what is 4/4? Well, 4/4 is a time signature. And what does that mean? Well, there's a definition. And I use a very simple kind of explanation, a formula. The top number indicates the number of beats per measure. The bottom number indicates the kind of note that will receive 1 count or 1 beat. Now, in text, it would be 4 beats to a measure, and each quarter note receives 1 count or 1 beat. Now, what is a measure? What separates the measures? Well, the first line, well, actually, all of the lines in this book are of 4 measure increments, and the page consists of 32 measures. That is a standard kind of tune, 32 measures, which I predicate writing the book upon. And subconsciously, you're kind of feeling 32 as you read the book, but we're not going to be concerned about that right now. We're just going to get into the mechanical notation of exactly how to play the notes per note. Now, we're going to take line 1, and we have 4 measures. And you see the lines separating the measures. They're called bar lines. Now, the first note you come across is a whole note. Now, you should be familiar with fractions. A whole, how many quarters are equal to a whole? 4 quarters. Okay, so the whole note is going to equal 4 counts, which is 4 times 4 beats to a measure. Each quarter note receives a count of 1 beat. So I have a quarter note, a whole note, the first measure. It's just simple. I'm counting in 4. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just played the first measure. 1 whole note equals 4 quarter notes. Now, the next measure, you have 2 half notes. Again, fractions. 1 half equals 2 quarters. That would equal 2 counts. The second measure would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Third measure, I'm introducing now, instead of just a whole note and a half note, I have a half note and 2 quarter notes. If you add that up, 1 half and 2 quarters, you add it up with the fraction, it will come out to 1 whole, 4 beats. Third measure, half note, 2 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. The last measure, I reversed it. I have 2 quarter notes and a half note. Again, you add it up, 4 times, 4 beats. 4 beats to a measure. Each quarter note receives 1 count to 1 beat. I'm going to play the last measure. 1, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I took each measure separately, and I'm going to play now the whole line, 4 measure increment. I'm going to give myself 4 beats to set my tempo, and I'm going to play the 4 measures to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm using only one hand. I'm not demonstrating any particular kind of technique, but I would recommend or suggest an alternate stroking. Alternate is just right, left. So, I'm going to play it again using that system of alternating my strokes. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, the whole note, 1, 2, half note, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's without a metronome, or I'm not locking myself into a tempo or a groove or whatever you want to call it. So I just demonstrated the first line. Now, as the lines progress to the end of this page, there's a variety of combinations of whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, half note rests, and no whole note rest. Okay? So now we're going to take line 2, first measure. We have a half note, which is equal to 2 quarters, and a half note rest is equal to an additional 2 quarters. That's 4 quarters, 4 beats to a measure. Each quarter note receives 1 count or 1 beat. Line 2, measure number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. Second measure, line 2. 2 quarter notes, half note rest. Again, add it up, you have 4 beats. Second measure, 1, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. 2 quarter notes, half note rest. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Third measure, I reversed it. Again, a half note rest and 2 quarter notes. A half, 2 quarter notes equals 4 quarter notes, or reduced equals 1 whole. Okay, third measure, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, again, 2, 3, 4. Now the last measure on line 2, you have 4 quarter notes. 1 quarter plus 1 quarter plus 1 quarter plus 1 quarter equals 4 quarters, 4 time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the next introduction is a quarter note rest. What is a rest? I rest, I don't take a nap, I just don't play on that particular count or beat. Now, the third line, first measure, you have 2 quarter notes, a quarter note rest, and a quarter note. I'm going to play it. Count 1, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 quarters, quarter note rest, a quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second measure, third line. 2 quarter notes, quarter note rest, and a quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, second measure, third line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Third measure, third line. 3 quarter notes, 1 quarter note rest. Add it up, 4 time. Again, 1, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last measure, measure number 4, line 3. Half note, 2 quarter notes. Add it up, 4. Here we go. 1, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, before I continue, I'm going to play 1, 2 to 3 lines in tempo with the metronome. Now, I haven't explained the multiple uses or different ways to use a metronome. It will be done, though, on my website in a separate video. I'm going to right now put the metronome at 60 beats per minute. I'm going to set the metronome at 60, and I hear a tick. That's giving me 60 beats per minute. That equals my quarter note. Again, we're going to count staccato, quarter note count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm locked in. I'm going to do the first 3 lines in tempo. I'm only going to use one hand. I'm tapping out the rhythm. I'm not playing any or demonstrating any particular kind of levels or technique or whatever. Just how the rhythm is falling within these 3 lines. Here we go. 1, play. Line 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Third line. 1, 2, 3. Staccato. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's note by note, measure by measure, line by line, the first 3 lines. As you continue line 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, you should be able to do this on your own at this particular point by absorbing the information that you just received. So we're going to take line 4, and I'm going to play the whole line without explaining note for note. Here we go, line 4 without the metronome. 1, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was line 4. Now I'm going to play from line 4 to line 8 using my metronome at 60. Now the reason why I select 60, it's not too fast and it's not too slow, and it gives your mind a little bit of an opportunity to think about what you're doing and prepare yourself for the next up and coming beat. Now I would recommend doing the whole page first without the metronome to become familiar with the notation. It's very simple. It's very, so to say, elementary. But people who have never read before, this is brand new, so I would recommend to start to play this without a metronome. When you become familiar with the whole thing, do use the metronome. It's very important. That's my bass player when I'm not playing with the band. Or that teaches me to be right. That tells me tells me the truth about my tempo. It only enhances my tempo, makes me stronger. And a very important thing also that a lot of people leave out of a metronome. You hear the tick, tick. Well, you're listening. When you're playing with a band or playing a tune or whatever, you have to listen. And that's what it's teaching you also. So we're going to continue from line 5 to 8 with the metronome at 60. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's the first page. And I tried to explain each note by note, measure by measure, and I played the eight lines for you. Now I'm going to play instead of 60 at another tempo. We're going to increase it to perhaps 120, which means there's 120 beats or ticks per minute, beats per minute. So there's my tempo. And I'm going to play this alternating strokes, or I could play it one hand. Recommended alternating the strokes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Staccato. 3, 4. 1, 2. Line 2. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was at 120. Let's increase it. Let's try, okay, 160 maybe? Or not. Let's go to 172. Okay. That's my quarter note. That's the downbeat. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, D4, 1, 2, 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 D, 1, 2, D4, 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 1, 2, D, 1, 2, D4, 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 2, D4, 1, 2, D4, 1, 2, D4, 1, 2, D4, 1, 2, D4, 2, D4, 1, 2, D4, 1, 2, D4, 1, 2, D4. Now, you can take it any place you want. It's a very simple page. It's just an introduction to reading and understanding the whole note, the half note, and the quarter note, and the rest. And if you notice, there is no dynamic markings. Dynamics means different degrees of power or volume. And I'm not setting it that. This is just about to understand how notation falls, or notes fall in 4/4. Now, this is the first page of a series of videos that I will be posting constantly until I finish the last page. If you like, again, if you have any problems, just give me contact me through my Facebook page, my website, or Skype, or email, or if you have to, call me. Thank you, and I hope it helped you out.